What's up, guys? It's Joe and Mike from Build Assets Online, and I'm going to show you my number one trick to help small sites beat Google updates. And you're going to probably hear some stuff that you haven't heard before. If you're in the SEO space on YouTube or X or whatever, we're coming at this from a really, really unique angle, and you're going to see why that is. So stay tuned. So, what you really need to do, this is the trick, is to become a brand in Google's eyes. And what does this mean? So if you've been making like niche sites and blogs in the past, it's almost impossible to do this because to become a brand in Google's eyes, there's really two main things that you have to do, or these are the two most powerful things that I've seen that we do that actually work almost every time. It's really, really hard to get hit by a Google penalty if you're doing these two things, no matter what you do. So, in my opinion, all the chatter that people are talking about, AI content, like all these things, all the main conversation is all noise because if you do these two things, it just doesn't matter. You can have AI content, you can have human content, you can have bad internal linking, you can mess everything else up, and if you do this, then I think you'll be fine. So, in order to pull this off, in my opinion, it makes it much easier if you adopt an e-commerce slash blog hybrid model. What this means is that Google wants to know that you're a business, and a business sells things online. Google just doesn't like blogs. It doesn't like niche sites. It views businesses with that acronym that it loves, the EEAT, because businesses have expertise in whatever products they're selling. You would think. I'm not saying that's always the case. A consumer might have more expertise in it, but I mean, in Google's eyes, when you have a web that's filled with just spammy affiliate content, and you guys know what the web is. I don't have to explain it. How else is Google going to verify expertise? It's not reading the content and thinking, "Oh, this guy knows a lot about juicers. He's a real juicer expert." No, it's going to say like, "Okay, this is a website. It sells juicers." I'm going to get into some of the other things it looks at too. Um, and yeah, these are the people that have expertise on juicers because maybe they're like juicersomething.com. They sell them, they have blogs about them, and they're hitting it from all angles. So, what is, in my opinion, the two things I'm going to share next, they're probably about even in terms of importance, but buying Google Ads, okay, is a very, very critical aspect to becoming a brand in Google's eyes. And I don't care what anyone says because Google will say that, oh, the ads platform and organic search, they really don't interplay with each other. Like it doesn't matter if you buy Google Ads, that's not going to help your SEO. And maybe they're telling the truth and maybe they're not. But the truth is that it will help your SEO directly but indirectly because what's going to happen is Google's going to see a lot of activity not from search going to your site. That's through all their tracking mechanisms like analytics, and it's linked up with your ad account. And Google's going to know, hey, people are shopping on this site. This is a site that has some value to the web because people are on it and they're not just landing on it in the search engine. And then just think about their incentive for a second. Okay. This is a quote from Charlie Munger is show me the incentive and I will show you the outcome. Google, if your website is buying Google ads, Google is going to say, hey, let's show this website more. So they get more conversions, they make more money, and they buy more Google ads. So listen, obviously no one knows what's going on in the back rooms of Google and how they orchestrate the ads and an organic SEO relationship, but show me the incentive and I will show you the outcome, even if the outcome is not necessarily planned that way. In my experience, this is kind of one of the main things to look for, whether it's direct or indirect.
Well, Joe, let's back up for a second because you talked about buying Google Ads and you mentioned, yes, running them to product pages, which is one thing. But how do you feel about running Google Ads to, let's say, you have your niche site, whatever. Maybe you have some sort of lead gen affiliate happening, or maybe some Amazon affiliate, or maybe even display ads?
Well, I would say that the most efficient way to run Google Ads is to sell high ticket products on your website because, the way we show in our other videos, and by selling high ticket products on your website, you can adopt this blog slash e-commerce hybrid method where you have the selling of the products. You're adding blog posts, which you can add display ads to. You're adding relevant blog posts within your niche, within your industry that you can link to Amazon from. So you're combining kind of like the best of both worlds. You're getting the, putting in quotes here, passive income from the traditional blogging niche site stuff by adding it to your e-commerce store. And you're also making money on the e-commerce end. So you're making money pretty quickly because you're buying Google ads. And as we know, any paid advertising is like a faucet that you want to turn on. You could turn on and turn off at any time. And if you want to get out of this, this hamster wheel of building an income online and like relying on these algorithms, and the algorithm changes, you got to get into buying ads, because if you cannot buy ads at a profit, then you don't have an online business. Or it's basically the number one thing you need to know how to do in order to generate a consistent income online. Because again, it's like a faucet. The organic stuff is nice, you can make a lot of money with it, but until you can do this, it's going to be hard to build something consistent.
Yeah, I mean, we've fallen victim to this time and time again. It's not like we're just saying this because we do high ticket drop shipping. I mean, we've done dozens and dozens of blog sites. We've done things on Amazon, and we've done e-commerce. And what we've seen is over time, algorithms can change. And that one thing that you have that's relying on an algorithm, it can get swept up and it can get totally destroyed. And a lot of people are going through that, versus the businesses that we have that are run through paid traffic stay a lot more stable because we are actually the customer for that business. When you're just dealing with organic traffic, you're basically a street vendor running around trying to sell CDs or something, versus actually renting and having a storefront. And so one day they can come in and say, "Oh, you can't sell on the street anymore. You gotta go somewhere else." Versus if you're actually paying to have a storefront, then you're a lot more respected and you're actually the ideal person that Google or whoever is looking for.
Exactly. And one of the most important things that happens, that when you start to buy traffic to e-commerce products, is that you naturally start to get branded search. And this is when people type in your website on Google, like they type in your domain name, maybe like say, our website is buildassetsonline.com. They'll go to Google, they'll type in build assets online. And people maybe you're selling products, you're advertising on Google Shopping, they're at work, they're looking at their phone, they click your e-bike that you're selling, they go back home, they type in, ebikesupply.com, they click your website, boom, you're getting branded search. If you're making informational blog posts or Amazon affiliate blog posts and people are just going in, they're getting their answer and they're leaving, you're never going to get branded search for that. So the traditional niche site slash blog model does not lend itself to being a brand in Google's eyes. You're not going to get any respect in Google's eyes because you're not getting branded search and you're not their actual customer. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that is kind of hitting hard for some of you. So just to show you some examples of the recent Google updates, some of our sites and our student site. This is one of our sites. This one can do anywhere from 400 to 600K in monthly sales of our e-commerce products, and gets an additional 3,000 in Mediavine monthly revenue, just as a nice little cherry on top. It's got a DR50 to 60 in Ahrefs, gets a lot of natural links to things like e-commerce websites, also get a lot more natural links. So that's something else to keep in mind. And you'll notice, it's got a natural wave to it, but you see all these updates over the years, there's never any sharp decline like that people get with the helpful content updates. This is one of our students' websites, DR17 in Ahrefs. I know for a fact there is not one piece of human written content on this website. This is all AI content. He mainly uses it to sell his own stuff. I don't think he's added any like display ads to it or affiliate to it yet. But again, helpful content update, not even touched, because he's a brand in Google's eyes. He's buying traffic. People are searching his domain. That's just how it works. If you want to know how Google works, that's how it works. This is a DR37, a student who sold his site for over 500K, and he's not even really even focusing on making blog content. He's literally just he just got a bunch of Hero links and did some basic SEO on his collection pages and is ranking his collection page content, which, I mean, that's even more valuable than ranking blog content, or it can be at least, because people are searching for, say, and this was in the e-bike niche, they're searching for a brand of e-bikes. They find your collection page, they see all the products you sell of that brand of e-bike, and then they go buy it. So, it's just, you get this nice extra organic traffic that's not susceptible to Google updates in the same way that traditional blog sites and niche sites are.
And Joe, let's be clear. I mean, he sold this site years ago. So we don't even know what the new owner is doing, if they know anything about SEO.
They're not doing anything. I checked out the site. This is just a stable, steady, like, he just built maybe a handful of Hero links like 2-3 years ago, and the site's just chilling, just stable, just, nothing crazy, nothing with these helpful content updates happening here. So we did a full presentation on this. There's a lot more details that we could go into. If you guys want to check it out, go to buildassetsonline.com/beat Google updates, and we'll get into more explanation on this, this blog niche site hybrid model that I think is going to be the future of blogs and of niche sites. Because, I mean, this is something we've been saying for years, and it's just more, every time there's a Google update, it just becomes more exaggerated.
Yeah. I mean, people are constantly chasing this hamster wheel. It goes down, their stuff crashes. They're constantly looking at the new way of doing things, whether it's building links, whatever. We just showed you an example of somebody that built a few Hero links 3 years ago. They're not even the owner of the site anymore. It's probably owned by some schmuck, and the site still hasn't crashed. So that says it all, really. Buildassetsonline.com/beat Google updates. Free video for you guys going more in depth on this topic. You can take it or leave it, but as always, take it easy.